Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chris here. We are looking ahead to today's WNBA slate for Sunday, August 3rd. We got a four-gamer here today. Hopefully, you guys all been having a pretty good weekend. As normal, if you guys like the video, leave a like and also hit that subscribe button as well for more WNBA lineup advice videos. Once NBA and NFL get a little bit closer, we will be doing lineup advice videos for those sports as well. And we have been doing a prize picks a little bit more often here videos for WNBA, and we will be continuing that for NBA and for the NFL. So, like I said, if you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button. We are going to be doing all your sports, breaking down everything here for FanDuel. And like I said, we do have our premium coming up package. We do have that available for the NFL preseason. If you guys are interested in the hit us up on our Twitter. That will be in the comment section below. Just click that link and it will take you to our Twitter. And then from there, you guys can message us and we'll get you guys all. Sometimes it says that I can't, that you guys can't message me sometimes, or unless you follow me or something like that. So if there's some issue where you guys can't follow me or something like that, just leave it on my post and say, hey, trying to message you, but I can't, then I'll try to message you because a couple people have had that happen. And then keep in mind that there is for Monday. They usually take that off, and they are doing that for the 4th. So we'll be back on it on the 5th for you guys. So let's dive into it. We have the Washington Mystics and the Atlanta Dream, 157 and a 5.5 here for the Atlanta Dream here in this one. So let's go check this one out. Not the biggest fan of this one. Both these teams are kind of middle of the road. Pace wise, they're not really quick teams. They just kind of play mid. So I'm not really. I mean, like I said, it's not the highest pace. It's a 157 actually, one of the lower totals on. I think, like I said, if you're looking cash games, Alicia Gray, especially with Griner still being out, she has been the one who's been getting most of the shots here for Atlanta, and I think you got to come at her. So she shot 12 times last time, shot nine three-pointers, hit seven of them. She only played 27 minutes. Blake said it was a slight blowout against Phoenix. So I think she's in a good spot for another cash game play. I don't think she's really there for massive upside, but like I said, if you're looking for cash games, she's in a good spot. Same thing here with Jordan Canada. She didn't really score the greatest last time out, 3 for 8, but she really didn't need to. Had 11 assists, 2 steals, and 4 rebounds. So she still did good. I don't mind even going back to the well with her at 64. I still think she's in a good spot. Um, Going down a little bit further here in this one. All right, there we are. Sorry about that, guys. Going down a little bit further here with the guards. I don't mind Sonya side run. You can look at her. Skies is all right. I'm not really too big on some of them. Sutton, Caldwell, Melbourne. Probably gonna pass those. Yeah, probably gonna pass on most of those. Sutton, Caldwell, and Melbourne. Not really looking that way. Going over here to the forward, Sakira Austin, if you can afford her at 72, I think she's always in a good spot. And like I said, without Griner, I think, like I said, she should be able to exploit down there and get you at least 32 to 35 in this one. So don't mind, like I said, looking at her. Nas Hillman should continue to start. I told you guys about her last time. She did pretty good, 36.3, even played in garbage time against Phoenix. So don't mind, like I said, going back to her. If Edwards doesn't play, maybe not sure how to say her last name, but Emily, maybe she gets a little extra run here if Edwards is out. Again, she's been playing 17, 17, 17, so we can always look at her if Edwards is out again. And then Nia Coffey, like I said, she did play last time. I don't know how she did. I didn't pick her. 22 minutes. She had 12, only 12 fantasy points, but she played 22 minutes. So maybe you can look at her again, but she's just not really an offensive player here in this one. So let's move on from that one. Indiana and Seattle is going to be our next game. We have a 161.5 and a 2.5 spread, so once again, slightly slower. Seattle just played a double overtime game just a couple days ago, so they're probably still a little bit tired. They played an extra 10 minutes or so of really hardcore basketball. So here in the WNBA. So like I said, once again, if you think they're gonna be not tired, then like I said, Williams, Diggins, and excuse me, Awunuke, even Magabor, all of them are all really good in play if you think they're going to do good in cash games. It's a close game on paper, so like I said, it should be a good one. If it's going to be close, I expect Kelsey Mitchell to do half decent here. I picked her last time out. mind her. She was looking half decent. Had 29.1. So she was a pretty good pick. I don't mind looking. She's more of a cash game play. She does have a little bit of upside. If you guys want to look at her, does have upside in GPPs, but more of a cash game play for Mitchell. Erica Wheeler, once again, cash game play at only 5,600. She always sits in a pretty good little spot. She's usually in the rotation, so I don't mind looking at her. And moving on over here to the forwards, Boston's getting up there at 78, but without Clark, she is absolutely killing it. And I think she could kill it again. We got Dominique, already mentioned the top guys for, the top ladies for Seattle. And you got Dominique here. Like I said, she's been playing a lot more minutes. 14, 24, and 19 in her last three, 34, 28, 23, and 20 fancy points. Like I said, relies a lot on the defense and the rebounds, but she's in a pretty good spot and still relatively cheap at only 4,600. And, they're playing her pretty good off the bench, so don't mind looking at her. Next game here, we have Golden State Valkyries taking on Las Vegas. We have a 156 and a 7.5 by Aces. My goodness, Aces got destroyed last night. I think it was, 53 or 55 points they lost by. It was absolutely terrible. Golden State, obviously, a whole different team. They're not as good. They do play a little bit slower back to back, but like I said, Vegas, they only played their top starters 19 and 20 last night. So they're ready to go for the next day. So I wouldn't mind taking a couple Vegas. Ace think so in cash games, but if you think of it, I don't think a lot of them are going to really go back to Vegas here tonight after what happened yesterday. So we're going to go with Jackie Young. Don't mind her at 7,000. Burton's okay if Hayes is out again, but I just don't expect Golden State to really stay in this game massively. But Carla and Kate Martin are both really cheap here once again. Kate Martin got kind of weird minutes there at the end. Um, that's kind of what we're looking at in that area. Let's go over here, look at the forwards real quick for you guys. Jay Wilson, like I said, I don't think anyone's going to have her. So if you're doing GPPs, even in single entry, I think you could probably get at least 50 to 60 from her at really low ownership because I just don't think anyone's going to go that way. But like I said, the only thing that stinks is this game's a little bit slower, so I don't know if that ceiling. Janelle here, once again, at 57. She's in an all right spot. I just don't want to overload on Golden State. You got Cecilia, she's still questionable. If she's out, then that helps out the forwards a little bit more. Um, Rupert got a lot more playing time there in the fourth quarter. She didn't do too bad, had 14 real points, I think. She shot 5 for 8, so not the highest usage rate, but still not bad. So you can always look at her, but she doesn't have the highest upside, so keep that one in mind. And that's kind of where we're looking at in that one. All right, let's move to the last one of the day here. Phoenix and Chicago. This one's a little bit later than the other ones. Well, I guess the Aces one's a little bit later too. So Mercury and Chicago, we have a 164, the higher one on the slate, and a 13.5 spread. Angel Reese is going to be out here once again, so keep that one in mind. I don't mind looking at Copper here at all. This is her old team in Chicago, and she's actually playing in Chicago. So I wouldn't be surprised if she goes and gets 25 to 30, even 32 fantasy points at only 6,100, and she's shooting the ball a little bit better. So don't mind looking at her. Is Chicago's going to stay in this game at all? Rachel Banham's got to help out a little bit. She's been playing pretty good recently. Her usage rate's actually pretty high, so don't 5,600. I wouldn't rely on her a ton. Her price did not could be like a slight trap. Maybe FanDuel's like, oh, she's gonna suck here. I don't know. But it's not the greatest team she's going up against for her sake. But it is a high total, so you could always look at her, but I would rather go to Copper overall, but Rachel definitely could be worth a look. So one thing I do really want to mention here, and we'll have to see how this one goes. This game does not very interesting. She got pulled there in the second half, as you see here, benched in the second half. Kalina Brown took her place. So we're going to have to see here. If you guys have like a spot or two available for those late games, I would recommend it in some GPPs. The reason why I say that is because what if Satu randomly is injured or out or hurt or something like that? Because sometimes when this kind of stuff happens, then they randomly are out the next game or game time decision. So keep that in mind. And also, what if she's not starting? If she's not starting, Brown starts. That's massive upside as well. So I don't know if they'll do that, but obviously they benched her, one of the best players for the second half. So obviously they weren't too happy with it. So But like I said, Kalina Brown's the one who kind of got the second half, and she did do bad. 6 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal. So you can always look at her again. Maybe she gets you, shoot, maybe she a little bit more of the rotation, gets 12 to 15 minutes, and might be able to get you a little bit more in GPP. So keep an eye on Kalina Brown. I think she could be kind of a game changer on the later end if you want to change things up, depending on Satu. And then you got to listen. I think she should easily bounce back here. She's taking on a Chicago team that sucks really bad. They're terrible at 3 pointers as well. But overall, I think she should easily dominate in this one, so I don't mind her at 8,600. You do have Cardosa. She's okay, but 6'8", I'd rather pass on her. Elizabeth Williams, her price really didn't go up, and if she starts again, I mean, I don't mind looking at her. She shot 12 times, had 34.1. I had her at 5% in my tournament. And I also did forget to mention to you guys the day that I did give you guys the video. I did end up playing, and we did score I think it was a 225, 228, and we came in like sixth or seventh place in most tournaments. Some of them came in second, so it was a pretty good night the other night for us. But yeah, moving on. But yeah, we don't know how much Sabali's going to play, so I really don't want to mess with too many Phoenix people. Bonner might get an extra little run, but she only got 21 minutes last time out, so don't want to mess with her too much. All right, so let's move on and give you guys a ghost lineup and see what we can do for you. All right, so like I said, Alicia Gray's really looking good. That total is a little scary for me. It kind of sucks. I wish it was a little bit higher. Like I said, if you're playing GPPs, I really think Jackie Young should be in a good spot here. She didn't do the greatest against Minnesota, but that's the number one team in the league and could have a decent here against Golden State, but it is, once again, a lower total. Gabby Williams has been playing out of her mind, and I'm not too afraid of Indiana here, so I think you can always put her in there at 6,900. If you don't want to go that way, you do have Burton at Mitchell, but she's more of a GPP. She relies on scoring, so Gabby's slightly safer. If you don't want to go Gabby, Jordan Canada, once again, she's in a good spot. That was the first time she had single digit scoring in a while, so I think she could definitely bounce back here. And like I said, if you don't want to go Gabby Williams, like I said, I really think Aaliyah Copper here could be in a good spot at 6,100. Really good. Like I said, I really like those two. In the mid range, we have Rachel Banham again here. We have Wheeler, probably 22 to 25 fancy points. Not too bad. And then, like I said, State Valkyrie depends on who starts. You got Carla, and then obviously Kate Martin again. If you really need somebody really cheap down there, and that's probably where I would go down there. So let's just go put in. Sorry about that. Let's go put in Carla just to go see what that gives you. All right, so let's go look at the forwards. That gives you an average of 5,700. So, like I said, I think Wilson could be a GPP at lower ownership. I think Thomas will take the ownership here. So I would pick Wilson, honestly, but I think Thomas has a really easy matchup as well. The only bad thing with Wilson, like I said, she's just facing a slower paced team, and it is a back to back, but she only played 20 minutes. But Thomas, like I said, if Satu's not going to play a lot, Thomas is going to have to step up a little bit more. Boston, I think, is in a good spot at 78 if you can afford her. Um, Elizabeth Williams at 6,000, as I mentioned, is in a pretty good spot. Then I think I like about Kalia Copper. She's a guard and forward, so you can put her wherever you want to. Nas Hillman at 5,700. I probably put Copper at a forward, to be honest with you. There's a lot of guards I like today. And then over here, Dominique, I don't mind her, but still more of a GPP play, even though she's been solid on her minutes. But I still have to, like I said, watch out. And then we got Kalini Brown as well, depending on what's going on with Satu Sadali. So that's kind of what we're looking on. Every Cecilia is going to play or not in this one. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. If it is a little choppy, I apologize. My computer's trying to run updates, so if it chops a little bit, like I said, I apologize. But we'll see you guys in the next one. Once again, if you guys want to get in on premium for NFL preseason, we'd love to have you. It's a very, very cheap price. Check us out on Twitter. That will be in the comment section below. Click that link. It will take you right there. I suggest if you guys can. If for some reason it doesn't message, try to give us a follow, get my attention, or just comment on a recent post and say, hey, trying to get in on premium, because sometimes it doesn't let you, sometimes Twitter's like that. So, all right, once again, we'll have a prize picks one up here just in a little bit.